Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'22 Lexus NX.
450h plus without launch control. That's really good.
Horsepower and torque.
302 horsepower from a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid. And we don't have a torque number because it's really confusing, but this is basically the exact same powertrain from the RAV4 Prime.
Horsepower and torque.
302 combined horsepower, and there is no actual combined torque figure.
And not every version of this NX is hybrid.
Right, exactly. So we're driving the most expensive version, which is the hybrid plug-in, which Lexus has never had a plug-in hybrid. So there's a lot of stuff that I really like about this car.
And there's a bunch of stuff that I absolutely hate about this car, but I'm gonna save my stuff for the very end.
Ooh, you guys gotta stay until the end to help us with that algorithm so that you can get Yuri's complaints.
I mean, I just wanna be positive at first.
Oh, okay. So I wanna be positive because I really like this powertrain, so now I'm gonna floor it. One of my favorite parts of this SUV. It's so quick, it's amazing to drive. This powertrain's fantastic. No wonder everybody wants the RAV4 Prime. Apparently you can't get one because it's really hard to actually get, but it's so good in here. And this also has an eCVT, but I don't really care about it because I'm not bothered by this at all. Like, you got paddles and stuff, and you got turbo boost. Well, not turbo boost. You have electric boost, and then you have your paddles, which simulate all your gears, and it's quick to simulate the fake gears.
It's a nice, fast, smooth, electric-y drivetrain with a bunch of electric driving we can do. How much can we do just electric?
61 kilometers, which is very respectable.
Yeah, that's totally enough to get around town and just do minimal stuff you need to do. And then when you hop on the highway, make sure you're in hybrid mode instead of just EV mode.
Right. And from a launch, this does do 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. So again, very quick.
Just like the RAV4 Prime, the fastest Toyota that's not a BMW.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's true though.
No,
whatever.
it is. Yeah.
Except for we drove the 86 and it was awesome.
Yes, it was.
That was so sick.
And this is all-wheel drive, but it's on-demand all-wheel drive, so we can actually see what the all-wheel drive system is doing in the infotainment. So you can see that it's primarily front-wheel drive, again, to help with that fuel economy.
And then this also does have the latest of Toyota Lexus driving assist.
Yep.
And on the highway, man, this is better than any of them have ever been. It is very pleasant, good radar cruise lane keep. Can't complain about the way it drives, but I can't complain about the way to get into it, which we'll talk about later.
Yep.
At the end.
So right now, continuing the things that I do like, the suspension is amazing. One of the most comfortable SUVs I remember driving, especially for this price point. The damping is perfect. Everything about how this drive is so nice.
And what's the starting price for one of these?
This would be $59,950 Canadian.
And if you're shopping for a new Lexus NX, click the TrueCar link in the top right corner
to get discounted price offers. And so with that suspension that I do like, the steering is also really good. I wouldn't say it's like direct, but there's nothing wrong with it. Like, everything feels normal.
It's chill.
And with that suspension comfort again, the seat comfort. Oh my God, these seats are so comfortable because the seats combined with the suspension, this is like a sublime drive.
It really absorbs everything into the seat too.
I can't say enough good things about actually driving this. Like the actual powertrain experience, the suspension, how quiet it is in here.
So what you're saying is you love the CVT in here.
Yeah, I love it to the point that I don't care,
Nice.
which is great. And I also do like the refreshed looks. So let's talk about the looks.
Front end has a bigger grille, and I feel like it kind of comes up more at the top.
Yeah, different shape. I really like how it looks. Again, that Predator thing, they've just stuck with it. They're going with it. I think it's totally fine.
Made it even bigger. I really like the looks.
And I like the integrated L headlights, the Lexus check marks or whatever you call them.
And then I do like how at the bottom we kind of have like 3 cutouts, kind of like an M2 competition.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's kind of weird. And then pop the hood. We got our orange cables because, you know, electric-y stuff.
Yeah. But we do have an engine in there because it's not a full electric car.
Yeah. Of course.
And from the side, this thing looks pretty good. This paint is very interesting because we found that it kind of absorbs the light.
Yeah, it's like Nardo gray, but blue. It doesn't have like crazy reflection stuff, but if you look close, it is metallic-y. Interesting blue.
Yeah, so you really have to look at it from the right angle to get that sparkle, but yeah, very, very different.
And the body lines, this is like refreshed from the last one, so it feels a lot smoother than it was, and then there's no floating roof or anything.
Yeah, I think they really killed it on this design, and the wheels are also really nice as well.
And what would be the Continental recommended tire for a Lexus NX?
The Cross Contact LX25.
Door handles.
Oh yeah, okay, so they don't actually move. They just stay with the body because there's a button in the back.
Yeah. It's like kind of okay, but every time we close the door, we don't close it hard enough.
So I feel like this needs soft close for some reason.
Yeah,
Like it actually does.
It's a little. It's like we've screwed up closing the door too many times for a normal car. But I guess this is a pre-production unit.
Yes, exactly. This is a prototype, technically, according to Toyota. And then speaking about the door handles, on the inside, it actually has like a door popper, so it's an electric thing that just pops open the door. It's nice. It does feel luxurious.
Yeah, but I just like handles.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I'm an old school mechanical feel kind of person.
yeah, no, so am I.
And before we get to the back end, I bought a new car for myself. I'm going to take it to the track, make it my sports car, learn some new skills in that. I'm revealing it on Instagram the day this goes live, Irritation and the Straight Pipes, and it'll be on YouTube way, way later, so follow us on Instagram.
I already know what it is. You guys are going to be excited. You should be excited.
It's pretty sick, though.
You got to head to Instagram because it's cool. Let's move on to the back. I think the taillights look really, really good, and we no longer have the Lexus badge on the back. It now says Lexus.
Yeah, the way they connected the taillights all the way across, instead of having a line that connects them, they overlap them, so it's still lighting all the way across, but in a nice way. And the Lexus badge is cool. I don't know if I like that more than just the badge. I think I kind of like the badge more.
I feel like this looks classier to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe because everyone's doing that.
Maybe.
And then our exhaust tips, we've got two little dinky black ones popping out the bottom and like kind of passable fake exhaust around the bumper-ish area thing.
I would say passable, just because it's not accentuated that much.
It's not Audi bad at all.
No, not even close.
That's fine.
Yeah, and what does it sound like from the outside? And what does it sound like from the inside? It's nice. This feels a lot less coarse than the RAV4, and I think that has a lot to do with the insulation and everything in here, because that powertrain in the RAV4 felt coarse.
And since it's a luxury SUV, it does have a power tailgate. If we fold down the back seats, we can see that we have a bunch of room, and even with the seats up, a bunch of room. And then underneath the back panel, we've got a hidden sunshade for your stuff in the back.
Yeah, that is cool.
Privacy shade.
Yeah. But let's get you into the driver's seat.
And now for my favorite hybrid thing to do, full electric launch.
Go for it. It's pretty good off the line.
And that's all the way down, and there's no kickdown pedal.
That's awesome, because you're doing full electric.
Very nice.
Great job, Toyota. Or Lexus, sorry.
I could definitely see myself driving 61 kilometers like that.
Yes.
And that's flooring it while driving full electric. Yeah, it's what you would expect out of a plug-in hybrid.
Yes, it's basically even better than what I expected from the Mazda MX-30, which this feels better than that, even in EV mode.
So interior-wise, colors of the seats and everything, and the materials, we've got some dark wood here on the doors. Everything is very nice.
Yes, this open pore wood, the material colors, textures. I love how this leather or fake leather, whatever it's called, it feels amazing, so softly padded.
All right, back seat room, we've got plenty of room back there.
Yeah, like shockingly good.
And one of the more exciting things is that Lexus finally got rid of the touchpad that everybody hated.
Yes.
And now introduced this infotainment screen. We've got the gigantic one, but it kind of totally sucks too.
I wouldn't say totally, I'd say parts of it do suck a lot.
If I'm in CarPlay and I want to swap over to SiriusXM and go through my radio stations, it's 5 clicks if I'm in a phone call.
But how high res is Apple CarPlay and how large is it?
Yeah, no, it's pretty large and pretty high res. If you only live in Apple CarPlay, it's actually amazing.
Yeah, it does kind of really fall apart once you get out of Apple CarPlay.
Because there's no hard button for a home or anything, so you need to click it twice. And then so you want to go to your radio stations and like go through that. You want to get to 40s on 4, 42 on 4, whatever it is.
Sure.
What's your rap station?
44.
44.
40s on 4. What is 40s music? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not making music that century, our decade. Yeah. When you go there, the screen was so weird to get into your stuff. It like showed everything. You need to click all stations or whatever.
Yeah, it was very weird to actually scroll through those songs.
And then once you clicked on a station, then you can go left and right. There's no tuning knob, but we still have a volume knob in the middle.
Yeah.
But it sucks not having those hard buttons.
It really sucks not having a tuning knob, like a watt.
And a home button.
Yes.
But we do have an Apple CarPlay icon in the top left, which we can get like back to our projection, which is nice.
And having those buttons along the left side is very similar to Jaguar Land Rover right now.
Yeah, and this does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you could also plug in for that, so that is cool. Got a wireless charger, but the phone slides around, so it never really stays fully charged on that.
And then we do have climate control, which is in the infotainment as well, but we do have these knobs which actually control the climate. However, they're a little bit laggy, and we loved the previous Lexuses because they had that cool animation with no lag.
The GS?
Yeah, so now they added lag.
Yeah, I wish it was hard button climate. I hate touch button climate, but they did a good job. They did the best job they could have integrating it.
Yeah, and then we do have a really high res reverse camera as well, which is really nice.
Yeah, except for, say you get into a spot and you put it in park and you want to make sure you're in the lines. If you're in park and you click the view button, you're going to get the egg looking around thing. And if you click the other button, you'll get the other egg. But if you're in gear, reverse, or drive, then you'll get the proper 360 camera. Like, that's the one I want. Like, do you care about the egg spinning thing?
I don't care about any of that stuff, actually.
Don't like it at all. I just like the normal one.
And then moving on to our center gauge, it's actually quite nice. It's not laggy, which is really cool. And then everything's displayed quite clearly, except there's a little bit of a glare because of the angle of everything.
Yeah, I had a hard time driving this thing in the morning. The glass is very curved. And going to your EV modes and everything, just like every other Toyota, it's kind of confusing. There's hold to charge, there's EV auto,
HV.
Auto, EV, HV. It's just...
And then this Christmas tree mode, which is off-road mode, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like you're driving through a forest.
Yeah.
And then in my gauge cluster, I can see like if I'm in charge or whatever when I let off. If I'm on a call, it blocks the bottom half where it says charge.
Interesting.
So I don't know if I'm charging. Not that it really matters, but it's also like you can just not show that.
Yeah, and then talking about the drive modes, we actually have Eco, Sport, and Normal with a separate knob. What happens if you turn that knob, Yuri?
The screen goes white. It fully covers the screen.
The center screen, not your gauge screen.
Yeah, for like a surprisingly long time. Also, if I change my volume, it takes up the whole screen. And the thing that sucks about that is, say I've got my Google Maps on Apple CarPlay, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure where I need to get off. I'm going to turn down the volume to concentrate because that's the thing we all do. Then it's going to white out the screen when I need directions the most.
Yeah, so it's kind of doing what Ford did, and we really didn't like that with Ford's either.
You don't need to do that. You just put a little top thing at the top like Subaru does. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then that brings me on to the thing I hate the most about this. We have a nice head-up display. It works well. But if I want to adjust my radar, cruise, or any of that stuff, my buttons on my steering wheel are now touch button things that show up what they're doing either in the head-up display, and if you turn off the head-up display, which you can do with a shortcut button right here, then it shows up in your gauge cluster. This is confusing.
Yes, it is. They have added a very high level of complexity to things that shouldn't be complex.
And then here, it's like about this little page thing. I click that, and then it's flipping my thing, and then there's more options in my, like, steal some people from Kia Hyundai, do pretty much what they're doing.
And then we also have a bunch of gloss black in here, which I really don't like. It's in a lot of places.
Yeah, but luxury car things, and it kind of matches the infotainment screen and everything. So, like, I get it's all in a nice pattern if you look at it aesthetically.
And then cup holders are totally fine. They pass. And what about the visors?
I'm going to guess no. 3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Oh!
Good job.
Wow, I almost ripped that thing off because I didn't think it was actually going to go.
So with all those rants out of the way, one thing we didn't talk about is the charging times. So it actually charges on a level 2 charger. You can't charge this on a level 3 just because it's a plug-in hybrid. It makes sense. It'll take you 4.5 hours or 2.5 hours if you have the optional onboard charger. So I think that's it with the all-new Lexus NX. Yuri, floor it for me.
That's good power.
That's pretty good. Before we get to the price, if you're shopping for one of these, click the TrueCar link in the top right corner for discounted price offers.
Or in the description, open in a new tab, come back, finish the video, and then go back to that tab.
Let's get to the price.
Hit me with it.
This starts at $59,950.
Canadian.
There's also a $75,650 executive package, as well as a $76,350 F Sport 3 package. So the starting price of this is only about $2,000 more than the RAV4 Prime that we drove. So if you can't get your hands on a RAV4 Prime and you can get your hands on a base model version of this, I would highly recommend this.
I wouldn't, because I want those hard buttons and I want the volume and tuning knob for the infotainment stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like the comfort is why I would highly recommend this car. So let us know.
Not worth it.
Let us know what you guys think.